There's a kind of love that leaves fingerprints on your soul, the kind that wraps itself around your ribs, weaving into the rhythm of your heartbeat and becomes part of the way you breathe. It's the love that colors your world, making every moment feel vivid, alive, and infinite. And when it's gone, it feels like the silence after a symphony. Deafening, still, almost sacred. It's the ache of an empty room that once echoed with laughter, the weight of memories that linger like shadows, and the quiet yearning for something you can no longer touch but will always feel. If you're here, listening to this, then maybe you've loved someone like that. Maybe you're wondering, in the quiet corners of your mind, will I ever love again the way I loved them? And maybe you're not just wondering, maybe you're afraid of the answer. Afraid that the depth of what you felt was a once-in-a-lifetime kind of love. Afraid that no one else will ever see you the way they did. Or maybe you're scared of opening your heart again, only to feel it break once more. You might find yourself replaying old memories, searching for clues, asking yourself if you could have done something differently. Or perhaps you're imagining a future where love feels lighter, but wondering if it will ever feel as profound. These thoughts, they linger, don't they? Like shadows that follow you, even in the brightest moments. You loved them in a way that didn't make sense on paper. It wasn't just romance, it was raw, real. They weren't perfect, but neither were you. And together, in all that imperfection, it somehow felt whole. You loved them with a kind of reckless faith. The way kids jump into pools without checking the water. All in, no hesitation. And when they left, when things fell apart, it wasn't just them walking away. It felt like they took pieces of you with them. The emptiness they left behind was vast, like a hollow echo in your chest. You longed for their presence, for the comfort of their voice, but all that remained was silence. In their absence, you struggled to recognize yourself, as if their departure had stolen not just your joy, but fragments of your identity. And so you wandered through the days, searching for the person you used to be, hoping to find a way to feel whole again. Grief is a strange thing. It's not just an emotion, it's a journey. It doesn't just come when someone dies. It arrives when something precious is lost. It comes when something within you dies. A dream, a hope, a belief, a future you thought you'd have, a path you were certain you'd walk, a version of you that only existed with them. And when that version fades, it feels like losing yourself. A love story that never reached its ending. A chapter left unwritten. People will say, you'll move on. But moving on doesn't mean forgetting. What they don't understand is, you're not looking for a replacement. You're mourning the irreplaceable. And yet, in the depths of grief, there is a seed of rebirth. Fear whispers that you'll never feel whole again. But healing begins when you allow yourself to feel, to grieve, to fear, and to hope. Because even in the darkest moments, there is light waiting to be found. There's a quiet fear that lives in your chest, a whisper that says, what if that was it? What if I gave the best parts of myself to someone who didn't stay? You wonder if your heart is even capable of cracking open like that again. Or if love like that only happens once, and after that it's just echoes. Here's what they never tell you about love. It doesn't recycle. It rebirths. Love is not a finite resource, nor is it a simple repetition of what once was. It transforms, reshapes, and evolves. Each experience of love is unique, like a sunrise that never paints the sky the same way twice. You may never love someone again in the exact same way, but that's not because you won't love deeply. It's because you're not the same person anymore. You've loved, you've lost, you've grown. And in that growth, you've created space for a new kind of love, one that reflects the person you've become. Love, in its rebirth, is a testament to your resilience, your capacity to heal, and your ability to embrace the beauty of new beginnings. The version of you that loved them was real. And honestly, so was the love. But your capacity to love? It's not gone. It's still there, quietly resilient, like a seed waiting for the right soil. Love doesn't vanish. It transforms, it learns, it grows. And when the time comes, when you encounter someone who feels like home, you'll find that your heart remembers how to open. It's not about replacing what was lost, but about discovering something new, something that aligns with the person you've become. Your capacity to love is infinite. It's just waiting for a place that feels safe again. One day, love will find its way back to you, quietly and unexpectedly. Perhaps it will emerge in the warmth of shared laughter with a friend, or in the gentle comfort of your own company as you rediscover yourself. Maybe it will arrive slowly, like the first light of dawn, or perhaps it will burst forth suddenly, like a summer storm. It might come through the kindness of a stranger, or in the steady, unwavering support of someone who has always been there. Love will come, not to erase the chapters of your past, but to weave them into a new story, one filled with hope, resilience, and grace. It will remind you that every scar, every tear, and every memory has shaped the person you are today, and it will honor that journey as it helps you move forward. Love transforms in ways we often cannot predict. It may not be the way you loved them before, intense, consuming, or filled with longing. Instead, it might evolve into something deeper, wiser, and gentler. This new love won't be a mere echo of the past. It will be a revelation, a fresh chapter written with the ink of growth and self-discovery. It's not about finding someone to fill the gaps within you, but about sharing your wholeness with someone who truly sees and cherishes the person you've become. A love that celebrates your journey, your resilience, and your transformation. So, will you ever love again the way you love them? No. But maybe that's not the right question. Maybe the better question is, what kind of love is waiting for me now that I've survived this? Love changes, doesn't it? It evolves just as we do. I remember sitting by the lake one evening clutching a letter they once wrote me. The words felt like echoes of a life I could no longer touch. But in that moment, I realized something. Love isn't just about holding on to what was. It's about finding the courage to open your heart again, even if it feels fragile, even if it feels different. Because love, in all its forms, is what keeps us alive. And when you're ready, I hope you let it in. Let the warmth of new beginnings touch your heart. Open yourself to the beauty of connection, the joy of shared moments, and the gentle embrace of love once more. The world is waiting for you, and so is the love you deserve. If this touched something deep in you, if you've ever asked yourself that same question, will I ever love again? You're not alone. Subscribe for more stories that help us feel, heal, and find our way back to ourselves. And if you're ready, share your journey in the comments. Your story might be the light someone else is searching for. Thanks for watching.